Matt Matthew, and welcome to another installment of anime to manga comparison. Today I'm going to be reviewing Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon Crystal Episode 2, which is titled Amy Sailor Mercury. Now, if you guys watched my first video, I did Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon Crystal Episode 1, Usagi Sailor Moon, and I gave it a 10 out of 10 for its extreme faithfulness to the manga. So let's see how episode 2 has did. Starting off, I noticed that the beginning of the episode is not in the manga, so that immediately got me a little concerned. But watching the whole episode, I noticed that the beginning and the ending were actually added scenes just for the anime, and they're not part of manga. But the whole middle part of the episode was actually manga, with some differences. So I'm going to get to those differences. But starting off with the beginning of the episode, I just told you that it's solely added for It's added for the anime. It was not in the manga, at least not in the manga that I read. But it wasn't really that bad. It kind of introduced Amy and her personality and what type of person she is. But I was kind of bummed out because it's not really part of the manga. And, you know, if you skip that part, it really didn't, hinder the experience that much. So I was really like kind of disappointed about that because of the fact that I could understand if I would skip it. And hold on, guys, I'm gonna showcase here. Here it is. See? I'm just gonna go into the manga right now so I could see. See, now the beginning of the manga, it is Queen Beryl talking to her servant about his failure, about how they haven't captured the unlimited silver crystal yet. But in the anime, it showcases more Amy and how the other people around her view her. I was kind of disappointed because as a standalone, you could actually skip it and it won't hinder your experience, which I felt was kind of bad because it kind of like killed the experience of watching the first few minutes and then getting the intro video and then getting to more anime. So I was pretty sad that, you could pretty much skip it and you're not really missing much because it doesn't really do anything. You could actually you get more involvement with the character in the middle of actually the anime, and that's actually more relevant than the beginning of it. So I was kind of disappointed with that. But moving on, the anime, the middle part of the anime, which is canon faithful to the manga, it's actually pretty faithful. I was surprised with some minor dialogue changes, but of course, that goes to show subs and dubs, they're not the best in terms of accuracy with each other because the subs are more like direct Japanese translations and the dubs is more or less like we're getting the message across, but it's not a direct translation. So moving on, so pretty much there are some scenes in the manga, and there are some scenes in the anime that don't really coexist. They do coexist, but in the manga it's more focused on Usagi at the beginning, and then it goes more towards Amy in the manga. But in the anime, it's more focused on Amy. I guess because the title is called Amy Sailor Mercury, so they want to focus more on Sailor Mercury. So I get that part, so I'm not really bummed out about that part because it's more In the anime, the title is called Amy says Santa Mercury. So it's kind of obvious that they were going to focus more on that character instead of Usagi. While in the manga, since this is the second act inside the manga, there's still the beginning is still focused on Sailor Moon and actually Usagi, and then it quickly, because in the manga it's very short, it quickly progresses to Amy. But pretty much, Luna inside the computer checking out. It says Amy, birthday September 10th. She's a Virgo, blood type A, age 14. Where do they get this information from? I have no idea. Especially with actually blood type. Like, how do they get their? How did the writers be like? I'm gonna put her blood type A. I'm gonna put her blood type O. I'm gonna put her blood type B. I don't know. I don't know where to get this stuff, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty funny sometimes. But moving on. More. Amy's character in the manga, I have to say, I think it's due to the age of the manga, because the manga is pretty old. 1992 to 1996. So, but Amy's look in the new anime in this episode, it's a little different. It's not drastically different, but there's some minor differences. First of all, her hair. In the anime, I believe her hair is a little bit longer. I believe her hair is more going up to the neck, shoulder length. And in the manga, her hair, depending on the angle, it's pretty short. Her hair resembles the original Sailor Moon actually. I think it's more, her hair is more accurate to the Sailor Moon. Moving on, her uniform, her school uniform. And the manga is actually different. In the anime, her school uniform pretty much resembles everybody else. But in the manga, her uniform is a little bit different. So there are some minor cosmetic changes. Moving on, of course, how they meet is pretty much the same. It takes longer in the anime for them to meet. In the manga, they meet up pretty quickly. So, but it's how they meet is still the same. Of course, their dialogue is a little different, but that's okay. The arcade scene, it's pretty good. Amy here. I don't know if they specify this in the anime. I gotta go back, but Amy actually worries because she has no money. But in the anime, Usagi, I guess, pays for it and just, makes her try it, so don't really know. But of course, Amy gets the high score and Sailor V, blah, blah, blah. They get the pens. Amy gets her Sailor Mercury pen, and Usagi gets her change pen. So that's pretty much the same as the manga. That hasn't changed a bit. The schooling, of course, has not changed. So pretty much the whole middle of the anime is pretty faithful to the manga, with some few changes, which are not so bad. But the ending is a little different. How Amy changes to Sailor Mercury in the manga is not the same as in the anime, so that's pretty crazy. So this episode is actually not, it's faithful in the middle, but not at the beginning and the end, corresponding to episode 1, which almost the whole thing was pretty much faithful. But the fight, how Amy transforms and all that, the fight, I mean, it's pretty much different. It's not the same, but it's a little the same, but it's very different. The ending, the ending of the episode was another added touch to it. That was not in the original manga. The original manga ends right after their fight. With Queen Barrel's monster, and in the anime they added an extra scene. It wasn't that bad. It was like the first episode. It was like the beginning of the episode. That beginning scene. They weren't bad, but at the same time, if you didn't watch them and if you just watched the middle, it's okay. You're not missing anything. So, in a sense, those two added what I call filler scenes, you could actually do without them, and the episode will still be okay. I think they were just added there to focus more on the title character Amy for this episode. But my verdict for this, I'm pretty torn. I'm not gonna give it a 10 out of 10. I'm gonna give it maybe a 9 out of 10. Yeah, 9 out of 10 seems appropriate. A 9 out of 10. Just for the fact that the beginning scene and the ending scene is not faithful to the manga at all. It's filler added specifically for the anime. And the middle portion, which was faithful to the manga, had some changes. There were some character design changes, as well as the major fight also had some minor changes as well. So with those changes added to the two filler scenes, the beginning and the ending filler scene, swayed my vote to give Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon Crystal Episode 2 Amy Sailor Mercury a 9 out of 10. So thank you guys for watching, and thumbs up if you like the video, thumbs down if you don't like the video, comment below, subscribe if you want more anime to manga comparisons, and watch out for my next video, which I'm going to be reviewing episode 3, which is Ray Sailor Mars. So thank you guys for watching. This is Matthew, and as always, have an awesome day.